Good morning and welcome to Kid News. I'm Tori. Today is Tuesday, February 1st, 2022. And we begin with a state governor who has just signed up to be a substitute teacher. Even though she has no previous experience in education, New Mexico Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham just registered to be a licensed volunteer sub, saying she wanted to set an example after recently asking all state workers and even National Guard troops to sign up. The goal is to keep schools open despite a serious staffing shortage due to COVID. All substitute teachers are required to go through a background check and take a 2-day online teaching course. Governor Lujan Grisham is due to report to an elementary school tomorrow morning for her first day as the head of the class. It turns out the northeast part of the U.S. wasn't the only area pummeled with snow recently. Large parts of Greece and Turkey were also covered with the white stuff, which is pretty unusual for that part of the Mediterranean, so it caused major problems. Schools and shopping centers were closed all over the region, and many roads and highways were shut down, leaving some drivers stuck for hours. In Istanbul, Turkey, heavy snow collapsed the roof of an airport building, forcing one of Europe's busiest airports to cancel thousands of flights. Today has been declared a public holiday in Athens, Greece, to give the city time to clear away the snow. And it's even turned political. The main opposition leader in Greece says the storm was handled so poorly that the prime minister should resign. This could be one way to avoid traffic headaches. A Japanese company called ATI has developed a working hover bike. The X Turismo is like a motorcycle, but it flies a few feet off the ground, thanks to several large propellers. It's powered by batteries and can run for about 40 minutes, reaching a top speed of 62 miles an hour. But don't expect to see a lot of these hovering around anytime soon. The company is only planning to make about 200 at a cost of nearly $700,000 each. And currently laws in Japan don't allow hover bikes on or above the road. But ATI sees the X Turismo as a first step to get people moving around easily in the air. Many people can't imagine life without a cell phone, but singer Ed Sheeran just revealed that he gave up his cell phone 6 years ago and couldn't be happier. He told the Collector's Edition podcast yesterday that when he did have one, it stressed him out, having to respond to all the messages and texts. Now the pop superstar uses email to communicate and checks his laptop every few days, responding to only 10 emails at a time. Then he says he goes back to living life. He added, besides feeling less stressed, the best thing about life without a phone is the moments that I have with the people I love in person, uninterrupted. We all could use a good laugh once in a while, and it turns out that humans aren't the only animals to yuck it up. A graduate student and a professor at UCLA wanted to take a closer look at the phenomenon of laughter in the animal kingdom. And they found evidence of vocal play behavior in at least 65 other species, ranging from domestic cows and dogs, foxes, seals, mongoose, and 3 bird species, including parakeets and Australian magpies. An article on their study was published in Bioacoustics and suggests that what's often thought of as play among animals is pretty rough and tumble and can resemble fighting. So the vocal sounds are important to show other animals that they're just having fun and don't mean any harm. Before we get to our quiz, a big thank you to all of our generous donors. KidNuz is a nonprofit and runs on your generosity. For those interested in supporting us, you can find a donation link at the top of our website, www.kidnews.org. And it's tax deductible thanks to our fiscal sponsor, Independent Arts and Media. Now, the Kid News quiz. What top official has just signed up to be a volunteer substitute teacher in New Mexico? The state's governor. How fast can the hover bike X Turismo travel? Up to 62 miles an hour. What superstar singer doesn't have a cell phone? Ed Sheeran. According to a new study, humans share what behavior with at least 65 other species? laughing. In our Kid News Kicker, today marks the start of the Chinese or Lunar New Year, which is celebrated by over 2 billion people, or about 20% of the world's population. The ancient festival lasts for 2 weeks, and to prepare for the biggest holiday of the year, many people clean their homes to sweep away bad luck and hang red decorations on doorways and wear red clothes, as that color is believed to bring good fortune and prosperity. Every Chinese New Year is dedicated to one of 12 animals that, according to custom, took part in a race organized by the Jade Emperor. This is the Year of the Tiger, and anyone born during a Year of the Tiger, which would include 2010, are considered daring, ambitious, generous, and filled with boundless energy. Before we go, we want to give a big Kid News shout out to all our terrific teachers and their students. In California, Mrs. Mallard and her marvelous scholars who love tuning into Kid News at Jackie Robinson Academy in Long Beach, and Mrs. Regitz at Acacia in Fullerton, Mr. Thayer at Douglas Elementary in Watertown, Wisconsin, Mrs. Kuhn at Prosperity Rickard in Prosperity, South Carolina, and Mrs. Gillahan at Pershing Elementary in Joliet, Illinois. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And we hope you tune in for more Kid News tomorrow morning.